Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Weekend Watch List. My name is Jamie Hall. I'm coming to you from my apartment. I'm excited to see where you all are joining me from. Thank you for bearing with me on this new time. We're usually at 4 o'clock on Fridays, but we had to push it to 5 o'clock, and that will be our time from now on. So mark your calendars or not, but if you want to watch, it will be now every week at 5. So I hope you all had a good week. I hope everyone's hanging in there. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I love to hear from you all. Today, our topic, so some background. Last week, we had a topic of the weekend watch list. Oh, hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining. And we talked about our favorite childhood films and the nostalgic films that we watch again and again. So I'll kind of touch back on that when I talk about streaming. But the topic of today is, what are your favorite books that became films? So what are your favorites? What are some that did it really well? What are some that totally messed it up and you're just like, the book was so much better? I have found myself that I've been reading a lot lately, so this is something that I've been thinking about, and I just finished a book, Normal People, that became a television show, and it came out this week. So it's something that's been on my mind, and I want to hear from you all. And I actually have a couple of props. So I have the Fellowship of the Ring, and actually the one I wanted to hold up was the Two Towers. So the Lord of the Rings are possibly my favorite books to movies. I think that Peter Jackson did an excellent job. And I could watch the extended version over and over again because I'm a complete nerd and they are fabulous. So that would be my example as one of my favorite books to films. One that I could think of, another book to film that kind of reveals how nerdy I am, that was terrible. And if anyone who grew up in like the 90s, early 2000s might know of this, but the Aragon book about the dragon, there was a whole series about it. And the film was just the worst thing that you've ever seen, in a little bit of a hilarious way. So that would be my example of one that maybe the film didn't quite capture the same magic as the book. But I want to hear in the comments what you all think. What are some of your favorites? And we'll keep talking about it throughout this episode as you guys post. Okay, great. So now I'm going to talk about what's happening at Gorton. So we have a lot of fun films that you can stream in our virtual theater. We still have The Booksellers, The Times of Bill Cunningham, and Corpus Christi, which I've talked about in previous episodes. We also have And Then We Danced, which is a beautiful film from Georgia, and it kind of talks about liberation and love, and it's a coming-of-age story, and it's about this man who is very focused on his dancing and becoming excellent in that realm. And then a new dancer comes into his life, and he kind of realizes that there are different motivations that he has after that. So it's beautifully done. And Then We Danced, and we'll be streaming that through next week. We also have Eating Up Easter, which is a documentary film from Cartemquin Films. It is told as a cinematic letter by a native of Easter Island to his son. So it follows different stories, and it kind of talks about the impact that development and globalization has had on both the culture and people and the environment of Easter Island. So it's a very great film to watch, especially in April, because actually we're in May. Today's May 1st. Wow, caught myself. But especially right now, because we just celebrated Earth Day. So even though it's not April, you'll want to check that one out. And then we also have Bakaru, which translates to Nighthawk, and it is a thrilling genre blurring film from Brazil that kind of explores a lot of different things and is a little bit hard to describe. So I would watch the trailer of that one and kind of read the Rotten Tomatoes links that we put up on our webpage if you want to check it out. But yes, it is very well done as well, and just kind of takes you out of your normal film experience. So I would recommend watching that one as well. All right, a couple more Gorton items of business. The At Home Film Festival is in its third week right now. Our prompt this week is heart, so it's meant to be very open-ended, and you can kind of interpret it however you'd like. And we would love your 1-minute films submitted by Sunday at 5 to my email address, jamie@gortoncenter.org. We have had so many fantastic, diverse films from the community submitted, and those are all up on our YouTube channel right now, Gorton Community Center, and there's a playlist called At Home Film Festival that has all the previous prompts films. So I highly recommend checking those out as well. They're wonderful. And submit your own. We want to hear and see your stories. And then also Film Club will be back on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. There will be a webpage up soon, and you can sign up for the Zoom link to join Film Club. And we are watching, we're watching Gravity and Whale Rider. And then we're also going to pick all the films for the rest of May. So if you want to be invested in that choice, it would be a great time to join Film Club. Okay, and now I want to talk about one of our film partners at Gorton. I'm going to take a little pause and look at our comments. Kate says Normal People on Hulu. Yes, it is a TV show, not a film, but yes, Normal People. I actually have that book here. Getting a little off topic, but this is a fabulous book. Highly recommend. It's a very well-constructed, poignant tale, and it now has a show on Hulu. So definitely check that out. But I also want to hear what you guys all think about movies and books to movies. Was anyone a Harry Potter person? What did you guys think? Did anyone see Gone Girl? Did anyone see Wild? There's such like a diverse array of books to films. Another thing I was thinking about on this topic is adaptations of classic films. So Pride and Prejudice. There are so many adaptations of that. What's your favorite? I want to hear about it. Put it in the comments, and we'll check back in after I give you a little Mountain Film update. So Mountain Film is this fantastic documentary film festival. It happens every Memorial Day weekend in Telluride, Colorado. And at Gorton, we are just so lucky we're able to host Mountain Film on tour. So we get to curate our own content from their film selections. We get to pick playlists. We usually bring a feature film, and then we have a special guest from the film or a director come and talk about it. And that happens every year the last weekend of January. So we're definitely planning on still having our own Mountain Film on tour, but Mountain Film itself, the Memorial Day weekend festival, is switching it up this year, and they have gone all digital. So something that's really exciting I wanted to tell you all about. You can purchase a pass. I believe it's around $75, and you'll get access to all of the Mountain Film films. You'll get access to their festival symposium, and you'll also be able to see other presentations and speakers. So for example, I was so fortunate to be able to attend Mountain Film Festival last year. Gorton sent me so that I could pick films for our event, which was probably the best thing I've ever done. It was such an amazing weekend, and if you ever have a chance to go, I would highly recommend. And one of the speakers there was Oprah, because Cheryl Strayed was the guest director, and Oprah is one of her personal friends, so they had this fantastic conversation on stage, and you could actually go watch that. It's on their website right now, but that's kind of the content that you'll get if you purchase this pass. And the guest director this year, I actually have to shout out because his name, I'm gonna mess it up, but Louis Pesoyos. Anyway, I totally messed up his name, but I have to tell you that he is one of my favorite directors and of documentaries. He directed The Cove, which was the documentary that I watched as a mere high schooler and just fell in love with the whole genre of documentary filmmaking. And if anyone was one of my friends at that time and is watching, they know, because I made everyone that I encountered watch that movie. And it's basically this documentary about this man, Rick O'Barry, and how he is an activist and he's trying to prevent the dolphin slaying in Japan. So definitely check out that film. The guest director, Louis, he also did Racing Extinction. He also did Game Changers, which is a fabulous film about how athletes, some like really high performing athletes who are vegetarians. And I believe that one's on Netflix if anyone wants to check it out. So really cool festival this year. The topic for the symposium is visionaries. So I personally am going to be tuning into that, and hopefully we'll be able to have some really great content in January when Gorton brings Mountain Film back. So let's check back in the comments. Oh, hi, Mrs. Zandra. Thanks for tuning in. And Catherine, oh, love the reminder text to tune in. Gorton, pretty awesome that we're sending those now. I didn't even know that was happening, but great. Amy says, I was not a Harry Potter person, but now I'm becoming one as I read them with my son. Yes, I definitely would agree. And once you finish them, I'm also going to apologize. I did not know there would be yard work happening behind me as I chose this spot for the weekend watch list. So hopefully you all can still hear me and let me know if it's very bad and I'll try to move. But yeah, so basically, Harry Potter is just fantastic, and I would highly recommend watching the movies after you read the books. But sometimes there's nothing like the magic of reading the books. You just get so much more detail, and you get to use your imagination and be in that world. But yes, I would say the Harry Potter films did a really good job of adapting. Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow, yes, that is a fantastic adaptation of a Jane Austen book, and I'm curious if anyone has watched the new Emma. It kind of came out right around when all of this happened. It was on my list to go watch it in theaters, but I didn't get to check it out. But that one looked like it had such a vibe as well. And Gwyneth Paltrow is just fantastic in that role. She's just great. Loved Outlander books to series on to the yes. I never read the books because they looked very, very long, but I am so impressed with you for reading those. I think they're like 1,000 pages each. But yes, the Outlander series is fun. Book to movie, The Hunt for Red October. I can't say that I have seen that or read that, and now I'm going to have to go look it up. Maybe tell us a little bit more about that, Cindy. You sound normal to me. Oh, that's good. Good to hear that you guys are not hearing what I'm hearing right now. Okay, and then our last topic, the world of streaming. I'm going to keep this one pretty quick today, but I just wanted to tell you guys about this fantastic new YouTube resource. And basically it is Josh Gad, who many of you might know as Olaf from the Frozen films, who is just a fantastic, hilarious human. And he decided to create a YouTube show called Reunited Apart, which is bringing back cast members from some of the best movies of all time and all, the films that we grew up loving. So the first episode was this week, and he actually brought the cast of Goonies together, which is another one of those films that was mentioned last week when we talked about movies we loved as a kid. And he not only brought the cast, but he brought the director, and he brought Cyndi Lauper, who did the theme song, and it was just like a huge, big reunion, and it is just very feel-good and hilarious to watch. They reenact some of the most famous scenes, and there's probably one of the best parts is Josh Gad describing how the Goonies, like what the Goonies meant to him and how it changed his life, because I know we all can relate to that about a certain film that we just saw as a kid and just, transformed us. So I would highly recommend that. It's called Reunited Apart, and it's also pretty cool because each episode they pick a different charity, so you get to donate to a cause, and a lot of them are COVID related. So I would highly recommend that. My other shout out for streaming, I'd love to hear what you guys have been watching this week. I watched a very cute, hilarious rom-com called Plus One on Hulu, and it is Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son, and I don't remember her name, but she kind of steals the show. And it's basically this rom-com, and it follows the typical rom-com formula, but the chemistry between the two leads is just incredible, and it is so hilarious. And I'm pretty sure I'm the target. They're around my age, so I feel like I was the target audience for this film, but I did watch it with my mom, and she was also just dying. So I think it could be enjoyable to anyone who wants to watch it, and I would totally recommend that. Plus One on Hulu. I'm going to check back at the comments, and if you guys have anything else you want to give a shout out to, I really appreciate all of you sharing what you've been seeing and recommendations for everybody. This is kind of like a communal forum. It's not just, you guys might not have the same taste in films that I have, but it's just great to share fun things that we all find so that we can kind of make this time more enjoyable for each other. So thank you all for tuning in again to the weekend watch list. A couple more recommendations. So Plus One, so good. Thank you, Kate. I would agree. And Cindy says The English Game on Netflix. So I will definitely have to check that one out as well. And that's all I have today. It's kind of a shorter episode. Thank you all for joining. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you all are taking care, and I hope you watch some great things. Please let me know what you've been seeing, and I'll mention it next week. Okay, thank you. Have a good one.